It was a rainy night, the kind that makes you want to curl up in bed and forget about the outside world. But duty called, and I found myself walking into the old Mercyville Hospital, a place rumored to hold secrets darker than the stormy skies above. I was there for the night shift as a cleaner, tasked with tidying up the empty floors that had a history as haunting as the hospital itself. The hospital's corridors felt endless as I stepped into the dimly lit building. The flickering fluorescent lights cast eerie shadows that danced on the peeling wallpaper. My footsteps echoed through the silence, creating an almost ominous symphony that resonated down the deserted hallways. As I began my work, pushing the cleaning cart down the long corridors, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. Every now and then I would catch a glimpse of something moving out of the corner of my eye, only to find nothing there when I turned to look. It was as if the walls themselves were whispering secrets that I couldn't decipher. The elevators creaked as I reached the basement level, a place that seemed to be perpetually cold and damp. The air grew thicker with each step I took, and the low hum of the machinery echoed in the distance. As I scrubbed the floors, the sound of distant footsteps echoed through the corridor. I froze, my heart pounding in my chest. There shouldn't have been anyone else on this floor, especially at this hour. I strained to hear more, but the footsteps abruptly ceased, leaving behind an eerie silence that sent shivers down my spine. I continued my cleaning, now on edge, my mind conjuring up all sorts of unsettling scenarios. The hospital was notorious for its history of unexplained disappearances and mysterious deaths. The patients who had walked these halls, seeking solace from their ailments, had left behind an indelible mark, one that seemed to linger in the very walls. As I moved up to the upper floors, the feeling of being watched intensified. The lights flickered more violently now, casting grotesque shadows that seemed to move of their own accord. I quickened my pace, my rag wiping at surfaces more out of nervousness than actual cleaning. And then, I heard it. A soft, distant whisper that seemed to be carried by the wind. My heart raced as I strained to listen, the words indecipherable but the tone unmistakably eerie. I clutched my cleaning cart, my knuckles turning white, and tried to convince myself it was just my imagination. But then, the lights went out. Complete darkness enveloped the corridor, and my breath caught in my throat. I fumbled for my flashlight, clicking it on and sending a narrow beam of light into the abyss. And there, at the end of the hallway, I saw it. A shadowy figure, standing still yet radiating an unmistakable malevolence. I froze, unable to tear my gaze away from the figure. It seemed to be a patient, clad in a hospital gown, but its features were obscured by the darkness. It was as if the very essence of the hospital had taken form and was watching me with cold, unfeeling eyes. My survival instincts kicked in, and I turned and ran. I ran down the corridor, my heart pounding in my ears, the figure's whispered laughter echoing in my mind. I burst out of the hospital, rain soaking me to the bone, and didn't stop until I was far away from that accursed building. To this day, I can't explain what I saw that night. Was it a restless spirit, a manifestation of the hospital's dark past? Or was it a trick my mind played on me in the midst of exhaustion and fear? Whatever it was, I knew one thing for certain. I would never forget the horrors that unfolded during that fateful night shift at Mercyville Hospital.